Okay, Councilor Cromwell has moved. We leave closed session. The motion passed with a count of 9-0. And Councilor Anderson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'd like to move option 1 as presented in the closed session update.
Councilor Anderson has made a motion that we proceed with option 1 as presented in the closed session update. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, if you're ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion to proceed with option 1 as presented in the closed session update. All those in favor? And the motion is carried. The count is 9-0. The next item of business on our agenda is item number 8.1 on page 72 of your agenda. The administration has passed out an updated version of your agenda package. The changes are highlighted in yellow. And is there anyone willing to make a motion? Councilor Mins. Okay. Slightly different.
Proceed with the with contracting following provincial panelists and the costs.
So Councillor Mins has moved the motion as presented in the updated package to proceed with contracting the provincial panelists Tina, Ray, Richard, Stu, and Darlene at a cost of $200 for less than 4 hours, $300 for more than 4 hours and up to 8 hours, more than 4 hours and up to 8, and $450 for over 8 hours as the panelists, and $225 for less than 4 hours, $400 for more than 4 hours, up to 8 hours, and $600 for over 8 hours for the presiding officer. And also that the add the Regional Assessment Review Board to a future tri-council meeting. It's a mouthful. We'll see why you didn't read it. Is there any discussion on that item? Seeing none, if you're ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion as presented in your package to proceed with contracting the provincial panelists whose first names are Tina, Ray, Richard, Stu, and Darlene at the cost of $200 for less than 4 hours, $300 for more than 4, and up to 8, $450 for over 8, and for the presiding officer, $225 for less than 4, $400 for more than 4 and less than 8, and $600 for over 8 hours. And to add the Regional Assessment Review Board to the next tri-council meeting for discussion. The questions on the adoption of that motion, all those in favor? The motion, any opposed? Councilor Gerlich, in favor? You just got to slow it down for me. The count is 9-0. The motion is carried. Item number 8.2 is our procedural bylaw states that we need to organize an organizational meeting somewhere between within 2 weeks of the third Monday in October. The window proposed by administration is between the 10th and the 31st. I would propose to you that we look at doing an organizational meeting on the 25th of October, which is connected. It's the same day as our Municipal Planning Commission, but those meetings tend to be short, and many of us will be present, and Gary will, Councillor Cromwell would be via video either way. So, you won't be. Okay, so that's the date I would propose, but it's open for discussion, what suits council. Counselor, absolutely. I just thought it made,
I'm unavailable after MPC that day, or
for me, it makes sense to come with one to start the discussion. Counselor Cromwell,
I would propose October 27 after the regular council meeting.
Counselor Chamzik, so is somebody, Counselor Wallach?
How long is the organizational meeting?
They shouldn't be especially long. Last year it was about 2 hours. Depends how much, it depends how much actual voting occurs. You know, if we've kind of have the idea that we want a lot of stability in the committees, then we'll just be able to ratify a proposed list. And then if there's, you know, any competition for seats, then, you know, we'll have to vote on those. The majority of the voting would occur from memory, but maybe Ms. Blair can clarify, would occur as open voting, and the chair, the Reeves chair and the deputy Reeves chair, I think, can be done by secret ballot. So we have a suggestion of the 18th and one of the 27th.
I'll remove my 27th and go with the
18th.
18th.
Would the Councillor Anderson?
My request would be if we decide to host on the 18th, could we do it prior to the committee of the
Okay.
whole meeting, just so that the organizational meeting has a set time. Committee of the whole can start whenever that's over.
So Councillor Anderson has moved. We set the organizational meeting for October 18th at 9:30 a.m. and that we defer the committee of the whole. Now, I know we've got some presentations coming. Can we?
Reeve, if I can make a suggestion
Yeah.
on that date, could we start it at 9 o'clock? Because I anticipate it won't be 2 hours. I anticipate it to be hopefully sooner. I have some ideas to move it along. But if we did it at 9 o'clock,
Start.
I think that would, and it won't impact the committee of the whole, because we do have a couple of presentations that are long that day.
Okay, Councillor Gerlich? So Councillor Gerlich has amended the motion to move the time to 9 a.m. Yeah, we all generally in agreement? Like, is there anybody that objects to that time amendment? Okay, so the original motion, then we'll just rewrite the original motion to start at 9. If there's no objections to, and we don't need to vote on something as simple as that. Councillor Anderson has moved that we set the organizational meeting for 9 a.m. on the 18th of October. And if you're ready for the question is on the adoption of the motion to set October 18th at 9 a.m. for the organizational meeting. All those in favor? The motion is carried 9-0. We will do org meeting at 9 a.m. And I think as it relates to the people who are coming to the committee of the whole meeting, let's just build in a bit of a buffer so that we can handle some other stuff, you know, adjust the order of the meeting to make sure they're not waiting on us.
That's it. Flexibility.
Next, item 8.3. I've got highlighted is one we selected. There is a recommendation to provide a motion to authorize the Reeve or Deputy Reeve to attend the Northeast Alberta Mayors and Indigenous Leaders Caucus in Lac La Biche. In your agenda, is there someone willing to move the motion? Councillor Chamzik.
For the motion, please, for the recommended motion.
Okay, so Councillor Chamzik has moved the recommendation to authorize the Reeve or Deputy Reeve to attend the Northeast Mayors Caucus scheduled in Lac La Biche on the 14th. Did we look at what's on the 14th? Is there any further discussion? If you're ready for question, the question is on the adoption of the motion to permit Reeve the Reeve or Deputy Reeve to attend. I assume or does anybody care if it's both? I'm not sure. To attend the Northeast Alberta Mayor's Reeves Indigenous Leaders Caucus scheduled for October 14th in Lac La Biche. All those in favor? And the count opposed? Sorry?
9-0.
9-0, okay. The count is 9-0. Item 8.4 was dealt with under the consent agenda. So we are now at item 8.5. Is there someone willing to move a motion? Councillor Wallach.
I'd like to make the motion that councils direct the CAO to begin negotiations with Athabasca Regional Water Service Commission for the transfer of potable water distribution assets and delivery of service to the county, from the county to the regional water service.
Councillor Wallach has moved that council direct the CAO to begin negotiations with the Regional Water Commission for the transfer of potable water distribution assets and delivery from the county to the Water Commission. Discussion. Councillor Kapitanek.
I think this is an excellent research project to start, and that in the future, it would be a great benefit to the county to not have to deal with the middleman. To keep our fingers out of the pot.
If there's no hands going up, are you ready for the question? The question is on the adoption of the motion to Councillor Holland.
Thank you.
Should turn
I
your
don't
name to it.
know if this is necessarily somewhere I would like to see us go right away. Now, is this, when you're talking begin negotiations, is that with the onus, I guess, that that's the direction we really want to take, or is this something that we're researching more into? The reason why I ask, is it prudent to hand something like this over to a commission rather than maintain some sort of control through the municipality as far as our fees are concerned, how we determine how we do our reserves? You know, does this put us in a situation where the commission might decide that they're, you know, going to raise rates because they needed, you know, want to put more reserves away in a sooner period of time, et cetera? I'm really concerned about us losing that control. You know, when you look through the MGA, there's large sections of municipalities maintaining their service and their water system. So I'm not sold quite yet. I would like to see more information on the pros and cons of this for sure.
Councillor Mins.
Myself, I think it's a excellent idea to look into it and start negotiating, because the commission has people that are doing this every day, and we're doubling down, tripling and quadrupling when we look at all the entities that all the municipalities that belong to the commission. They have their people, the commission has the people, they could look after it for us. The people that are possibly working for us could go and work for the commission. We would still have authority over the lines and everything like that, I think, depending on the negotiations, right? And there'd be just people, and the commission would actually be able to find people easier, I think, and train them and start looking at their wastewater expansion as the members or as the employees work there. They would just it would just enhance the commission thoroughly and take away from us having to operate it. I guess that would be, I think it's an excellent idea.
Councillor Cromwell, you'd like the floor.
I think because we're researching the beginning of negotiations, we're not setting anything down in stone yet, and that would bring back a lot of information that at that point we can then decide if we want to move forward or not. and what our opinions would be. So to begin that conversation, I agree with a lot of what Councillor Mins is saying would be a good and prudent discussion with the ability then to go, yeah, we want to go down that path, or no, we don't.
And as the writer of the paper, for me, the intent is to really say, let's explore this and look for whether there is value for our ratepayers or not, whether it makes sense for us or not. There's no commitment in any of this that it's gone. It's about saying, let's look at, can we figure out a way to do better for the folks that do it, including it. Is there a win for the commission and something that's a win for us? And so that's why, I mean, because I wrote it, I will confess that I'm still in favor of it. Any further comments from anyone who hasn't spoken? CEO, do you have a comment?
Just speaking on behalf of administration, that we understand exactly what that wording is. We won't be actually saying, okay, we're selling this place. It will be a, hey, look, this is the options. What do you think? It's just a beginning type, and we will be coming back consistently with reports saying, okay, here's the advantages, disadvantages. So this motion, I think, is sufficient. It doesn't commit us to do anything permanently, which is the good thing. You just want the option to have that ability to at least talk to them, because they might say right at the very beginning, we're not even interested at all. Or they might say, hey, instead of doing this, have you ever thought of this? So we have done different things with other municipalities when I was down in Peace River. And then also you have a major water commission that or organization that's down by Jeep. It's run Grand Prairie, and they've actually incorporated a lot of the towns and expanded like crazy. And they were able to do it to provide proper water. It actually did bring down the costs a long time, because what happens here is if you take a look at some of our costs, we can bring them down, and there's other ways of doing it. So it's part of the whole package. And the liability, by the way, there's a major liability having water and providing water that people really have to be aware of.
Councillor Gerlich.
Could we add this issue to the 18th meeting for kind of an update and discussion?
That's a separate motion, so I'll leave that to you to propose afterward.
Okay.
So the question on the floor is on the adoption of the motion to direct the CAO to begin negotiations with the Athabasca Regional Water Service Commission for the transfer of potable water distribution assets and delivery service from the county to the Water Commission. All those in favor? And that is 9-0. The motion is carried. Councillor Gerlich, did you want to make a motion? Okay, so Councillor Gerlich has moved that we add the discussion of this issue to the committee of the whole agenda on the 18th. Councillor Gerlich, are you willing to have that be flexible on which committee of the whole if the agenda is already fairly full? So can we just say to a future committee of the whole agenda? Okay. So is there any discussion on the adoption of a motion to add this topic to a future committee of the whole meeting? The question then is on the adoption of providing direction to add this topic to a future committee of the whole agenda. All those in favor? The motion is carried 9-0. I think I saw lunch walking in the door. So shall we, pardon? Okay. The next item is 8.6. There is a dinner. Councillor Wallach, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. This is through the Economic Development Association of Alberta. They are having a ministry dinner on the 19th, and I think it would be important for us to send representatives to this meeting, as we need to continue to network for our community.
So is there a Councillor Anderson? Are you willing to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to authorize Councillors Wallach and Kapitanic to attend the October 19th EDA ministry dinner in Edmonton.
Okay. Councillor Anderson has moved that Councillors Wallach and Kapitanic be authorized to attend the EDA ministry dinner on October 19th. Discussion. Councilor Captain, floor is yours.
I would be very honored to represent us there. I think it's going to be an exceptional networking event. And there's a lot of ministers that will be present that I've already have contacts with their support staff as well. So I think that'll be just another place where we can bring up our community and some of the needs and some of the things we talked about at Tri-Council, which for me would be like, I'm gonna just keep saying it, the Boyle Healthcare Center. It's gonna be definitely top of mind in an event like this. Just so you know, if you chose me to go.
Further discussion? On the question of the adoption of the motion to authorize councillors Wallach and Kapitanek to attend the October 19th EDA ministry dinner in Edmonton. All those in favor? The motion is carried 9-0. Let's break for lunch. Come back at 10 minutes past 12. Is that 25 minutes adequate for everyone? So we'll see you at 10 past 12. Almost.